Yes, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Wrestle News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. Welcome to a rare normal time watch along for me. This is very exciting stuff. SmackDown is in France, in Lyon, this evening. And because it's in Europe at in the same time zone as that means it's going to be live at a normal time. Now, this is one of those situations where it's different for different people. So obviously, if you're watching this and you're in the United States, you'll be saying, I've just checked Fox. SmackDown isn't live for me at the moment, which I guess is quite unfortunate for you. But for myself here in the UK, it is indeed going to be live as it tapes on TNT Sports. So in about, let me just double check here, I believe 15 minutes time, just under 15 minutes time, SmackDown is going to be live on the air over here in the UK on TNT Sports. And then it's still going to be airing in its normal time slot, in its usual time slot in the United States at 8 p.m. Eastern, which of course is 1 p.m. over here in the UK. So we have the fortune of having it live first. So we're going to be doing a watch along. Again, if you're not able to watch it, I suppose that's kind of defeats the purpose. But I guess it's a precursor of what's to come, because of course tomorrow it's going to be Backlash from France. I'll be doing a watch along and a post show for that as well. So be sure to join us tomorrow. I think. Is it 1 p.m. Eastern? I think it starts tomorrow, which is 6 p.m. over here in the UK. So we'll be watching that as well. But as I said, about 12 minutes to go, and SmackDown is going to be live on the air. It's a rare treat because this is not normal. This doesn't usually happen all that often, does it? Usually, us in the UK or across Europe or really around the world have to wait up at crazy times to watch it at. Usually for us anyway in the UK, 1 a.m. to sort of 3 a.m. or even longer usually. So with these international premium live events, things have kind of changed a little bit now, haven't they? Of course, you've got last year it was the same for Money in the Bank. When Money in the Bank was in London at the O2, they did the same where SmackDown aired the night before. They showed it live on TNT, and then it aired in its usual time slot on Fox later on. And then this year, it's going to happen quite a few times. Of course, as I said, Backlash. They've got these events now in Lyon in France. We're also going to have it with Bash in Berlin. Of course, there's Clash at the Castle coming up in Scotland as well. So get used to this. Certainly, I think there was a report that said basically the plan now really for WWE is the major events, shall we call them the sort of tentpole events, so WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, they're going to be all in the United States, of course, in the major markets that you would expect, whether it's New York, Vegas, Philadelphia, like at WrestleMania, Texas, etc., etc., etc. All stadium shows, maybe not Survivor Series, but they're going to be big shows in the United States. And then basically every other event, near enough, is going to be international. They're going to be going fully global. So, as I say, we've got these big international events coming up. We've got Backlash in France, Bash in Berlin. We've got Clash at the Castle as well. Money in the Bank's in Canada this year. It's in Toronto, I think, at the Scotiabank Arena. So WWE is going very, very much global. And then, of course, they've got SummerSlam, which is in Cleveland, which is in the United States. So that's the plan for WWE. So we're going to be getting a lot more of this. And the reason they've kind of pivoted to this in recent years is because in the past, when they were just on pay-per-view or even when they had the WWE Network, they had to be in the American time zone because they needed to, they were worried about spoilers and if it aired at a different time in the United States, did that mean less people watched or less people bought the pay-per-view, etc., etc.? Well, of course, that's no longer the case because Peacock, NBC Universal, gives them the money of, they've got $1 billion contract over 5 years. It doesn't really matter how many people buy or watch the events. One, it's always going to be more because their subscriber base is very big. But two, they don't have to worry about pay-per-view buys and things like that. They just have to worry about selling tickets and selling out arenas, selling out stadiums, which they are doing very, very, very well at the moment as well. I can see people in the chat filing in too. Star-Lord says, I thought SmackDown was on at 11 UK time. Well, I said usually it's on at 1 a.m. over here in the UK. I don't know if it's being repeated later on tonight in its usual time slot. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't have a good answer to that one. I'm not sure. But as I said, it's going to be live in about 9 minutes' time. It's Peltz says, yes, Owen, big up to you. Nathaniel says, you guys in the UK get a little treat and some time to sleep before tomorrow's show. Well, like I said, it is a rare treat, but it is exciting for these international shows. It is quite funny when I always enjoy when people in America stay up for the New Japan shows, usually like Wrestle Kingdom. And I love to go on Twitter and see the sort of the thing of going, I'm struggling to stay up, or I'm so tired. I don't know if I can do this. And you have to go, look, if you're a wrestling fan in the UK, or really just like a European wrestling fan, then you know the struggle. And that's every week. Every week, every big pay-per-view as well. Everyone's got their routine. Everyone's got their ways that they deal with it. And to be honest with you, doing it at this time feels weird. Even when WWE started doing the Saudi shows, that to me felt weird, of having it in its usual sort of time, in a normal time slot for myself. I was like, that's so weird. So weird. You're used to kind of adrenaline pumping because you're trying to stay up late and you're trying to keep your eyes open. And and then to do it at a normal time is kind of crazy. As far as what's on tap for SmackDown tonight, well, I'm kind of curious as to really what kind of show they put out. Usually these sort of go-home shows, particularly in the Triple H era, because obviously the premium live event cards are rather small, so we kind of get some matches that maybe in the past would have been on a premium live event. We do have a title match this evening that we are going to be watching, as well as some other announced segments, which we can get to right now. The big thing that they're advertising is a face-to-face between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. Of course, that's going to be the main event for tomorrow at Backlash. Cody Rhodes' first defense of the Undisputed WWE Championship against AJ Styles, the number one contender after defeating LA Knight in a WrestleMania rematch. They've done a fairly decent job. I think, at building this one up. I mean, it's always difficult, isn't it? It's always difficult being the first challenger because you know that Cody Rhodes is going to retain. Cody Rhodes is not going to drop the Undisputed WWE Championship to AJ Styles tomorrow. We'll probably get a really good match, but it's always difficult to have that buy-in from the audience, isn't it? Because you know what the outcome is going to be. But despite that, I do think they've done a fairly good job of building it up. They haven't had a ton of time to build it up, only about, 3 weeks, a couple of weeks or so. But it's about the match, this one, isn't it? It's a first-time ever match. There's shared history in the sense of they were both part of Bullet Club and they were both had runs in New Japan. So there's history there. Of course, AJ Styles did face off against Cody Rhodes' father, Dusty, in TNA. So there's that kind of tie-in. So they've done a fairly decent job. As far as what the face-to-face is going to be tonight, I don't know. Cody will probably cut a promo. AJ Styles looks absolutely ginormous recently as well. And as I said, I think the match is going to be good tomorrow at Backlash as well. We're also going to be see history made for the first time ever. We're going to get the first ever RKO Show. See what's happened there? It's usually the KO Show, but because it's Randy and Kevin, it's the RKO Show. Of course, this is before they team up to face off against the Bloodline, that being Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa at Backlash tomorrow. Tama Tonga has actually officially made his WWE in-ring debut. He made it in a match in Bologna, Italy. And Randy Orton did hit Tama Tonga with an RKO after the match. But I would assume this would be a continuation of the Bloodline angle and the Bloodline feud involving these guys. So expect that this evening. I'm interested to see where it goes with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in the future because, of course, they've kind of been tied at the hip going into WrestleMania with the United States Championship thing with Logan Paul as well. So logically, with it being pro wrestling, one would think that eventually people are going to turn on each other because that's what happens. That's what happens in wrestling. People eventually turn on each other. So I don't know if that's coming. I still hope. I don't know when they'll do this. My instincts say SummerSlam, but given the fact that Randy's on SmackDown, Cody's on SmackDown, it's inevitable they do Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at some point. Randy Orton turns heel and turns to his dastardly ways, and Cody Rhodes goes up against his mentor. I mean, surely that's what's going to happen. It has to. I mean, that story's been there ever since Cody Rhodes returned to WWE. I mean, I remember when Randy Orton had his celebration of being in WWE 20 years. It was on Raw, wasn't it? And probably one of the best moments of that celebration was when he and Cody kind of embraced in the ring. So I think eventually they get to that, but I think they're taking their time to get there. They've certainly got that one in the back pocket, don't they? And as I said, we do have a title match this evening. We have the WWE Tag Team titles on the line as A-Town Down Under defend against the Street Profits. And again, whilst I think that the Tag Team Champions retain, what I will say is those Tag Team Championships are absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. What a throwback. Yes. Similar design to the WWE Tag Team Championships, the World Tag Team Championships, from really sort of the 80s to the early 2000s. One of my favorite designs. And I'm so glad they went retro of it. SmackDown, absolutely. I mean, just absolutely got the better side of things, didn't they, when it came to the tag team titles design. They are gorgeous. I am such a fan of those, and I don't expect them though to be changing hands this evening. But yeah, much better than the Raw ones. The Raw ones were very disappointing to me. Just round, slap a WWE logo on them. I like the nod to the past. So I'm a big fan of those WWE Tag Team Championships design. That was excellent. And also, that's been announced for this evening is this tag team match as well, where we're going to see the New Catch Republic, that being Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, face off against the AOP of the Final Testament. So that's also been announced as well. So as I said, several things been announced for tonight's show, but we shall wait and see. I think, if I recall correctly, and the show's about to start in 2 minutes' time, when the show SmackDown was in London last year, and it was the go-home show for Money in the Bank, it actually, as a show, wasn't like a lot to write home about. It wasn't an amazing show, but what they do have with these international audiences for these SmackDowns, because of course they're so excited and they're so happy to be there and be like, oh my God, we're getting a televised event, we're getting a SmackDown, we're getting a premium live event. The crowd almost makes it that you sort of go, well, the card itself hit a bit of hit and miss. I'm not sure how great it would be if this was in the US. Would people be really excited about this? But because of the crowd, because of the people, the excitement to be there and the electricity in the venue, it kind of takes it up a level, doesn't it? It kind of moves it over the top. So yeah, this is the second international one of the year. We had Elimination Chamber in Australia earlier this year as well. And again, the crowd was pretty good for that one. They had some good matches on that show too, and we were well in the throes of the build to Elimination Chamber, weren't we? But yes, we are about to kick off. As I'm just seeing an ad for WWE 2K24. Let me turn my sound up here so I can hear everything. I haven't played nearly enough of WWE 2K24. I just haven't had the time. But here we go. SmackDown, as Pat McAfee would say. As we wait for SmackDown to go live on the air. I love the new WWE intro. It's really good. Forever. It's very like futuristic Doctor Who, isn't it? You know what I mean? Together. Dun, dun, dun. And there they are on the eve of Backlash. For the first time ever, SmackDown emanates from Lyon, France. Beautiful place of the world as well. And there he is, Cody Rhodes with the smile. When he does that smile when he arrives. There's AJ Styles. He looks absolutely jacked. And he's got heat. Heat, brother, heat. Look at that. Randy Orton arriving with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens wearing a Terry Funk shirt as well. The Funker. They're fully in tag team mode, aren't they? Look at that arena. It is packed. Absolutely packed. And again, it's a European crowd, so they'll act a little bit differently to your American audience. But, I mean, as they've always said on these European tours, they always say the French crowds are unbelievable. They are loud. Here comes Bayley. Oh, listen to the reaction. Bayley, heck of a pop. Oh, God, Death Rebel songs. They're so bad, aren't they? We got an 8-woman tag team match starting off the show. But Bayley makes her way to the ring. The women's champion. And as is the course of WWE now, not a big set by any means. Just a few LED boards and a bit of a long walkway. A very subtle, shall we say, a very subtle set. As Corey Graves and Bonsoir Wade Barrett. Bonsoir, Je m'appelle Wade Barrett. And we got the French announcers. Christophe Argout and Philippe Giroux. Yeah, honestly. And here comes Naomi. And of course, Naomi, she did have a great entrance before, but I think this one is pretty good. He does a good job. Look at that. Honestly, look at the arena. The arena is bouncing. Honestly, the crowd are going crazy for Naomi's entrance. Absolutely crazy. The lights are out. The lights are out. Everyone's got the phones up. Of course, tomorrow Naomi and Bayley will be opponents. I was just saying last week when Nia Jax attacked both Bayley and Naomi. Of course, Nia Jax drafted to SmackDown in the WWE draft. And we're seeing the prettiest moonsault ever. By Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. As Naomi cups her here. And here comes Tiffany Stratton. Gets a good pop from the crowd too. Yeah, the setup in this arena is great. I mean, again, it is packed. Packed to the rafters. Packed to the rafters. Of course, as I mentioned, tomorrow for the WWE Women's Championship, you've got Naomi versus Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton. As it is Tiffy time. As I said, we will be live for a watch-along and a post-show for Backlash. And here comes Bayley's former running mates, that being Damage Control. You've got the Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, and Dakota Kai. Damage Control. Of course, as Corey Graves is pointing out, could be one of their final nights. Could be their final night on SmackDown. Of course, they are defending the Women's Tag Team Championships tomorrow against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Of course, Women's Tag Team Champions could appear on both Raw and SmackDown. And here comes Bianca Belair. What is this match? What did they say it was? Did they say it was an 8-person tag team match? Because the entrances have been very... What, is there 4 sets of teams? Is that what they're doing? Because the entrances have been, like, out of order. Which is a bit confusing. Right, so it is. It's an 8-person tag, but they just did the entry. They mixed up the heels and the baby faces. I think. I'm assuming. Well, here comes Jade Cargill. The storm has arrived. See, the snow is falling. And look at that. What an entrance for Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill says, you hear them? They love me. Yeah, I think it is. It's an 8-person tag team match. But they had Bayley come out first, then Naomi, then Tiffany Stratton, and then Damage Control, and then Bianca Belair, and then Jade Cargill. Really confusing. I'm not sure why they did that. I thought it would just be the baby faces come out and then the heels come out. Right. It's a very strange way for the people to come out. That's why it kind of threw me off for a second. I was like, what? What's that? So it's an 8-person tag team match. The bell rings. We're underway. Collar and elbow tie-up. It's Naomi and Kairi Sane. And Kairi Sane with a forearm. Irish whip. Naomi, floats up. And Kairi Sane gets kicked down to the mat by Naomi. And look at this crowd, all kind of fired up. Drop kick in the bottom turnbuckle. Naomi's going to tag in Bianca Belair. Crowd chant for the EST. Moonsault. Cover. 2. Oh, kicks out. What are they chanting? I can't tell what they're chanting. Adrian says, Owen, how are you able to be live in 2 different places, talking about 2 different subjects at the same time? Because I'm magic. And a kip up by Bianca Belair. Oh, and Asuka gets sent through the middle rope. Oh, wow. Spinning back fist by Kairi. Whoa. Oh, Bayley's just tagged herself in. Well, the crowd got what they want. They said, we want Bayley. And in comes Tiffany Stratton. Oh, spinebuster. Cover. And kicks out. And they're going to go to commercial break. We're in commercial. I don't have to usually deal with commercials. That's the thing. Get lulled into a false sense of security with commercials. What are people saying here in the chat? Noob says Naomi and Nia Jax would make good additions for the Bloodline Civil War. Lance says, how do I watch this? If you're in the UK, it's on TNT Sports. It's live at the moment. I don't know about other countries. I mean, I know obviously in the US it's not airing to its normal time slot tonight on Fox at 8 p.m. Eastern. But I don't know about other countries. If you're in other countries, if it's airing live, it depends what your, I suppose, what kind of agreement WWE has in the area. Yeah, that's going to be quite curious how that's going to actually work, isn't it? And I wonder, well, I suppose it won't really happen with Raw. I was about to say when Raw goes to Netflix, what will they do with that kind of stuff? But this only tends to happen with SmackDown because, of course, SmackDown's on a Friday, then the PLE is on a Saturday. It'll be interesting to see if SmackDown does stay on Friday nights, of course. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. As of right now, I think the plan, once it moves to USA Network, is to stay on Fridays. But many people have pointed out they're not sure if that will happen on USA. Of course, before SmackDown moved to Fox, it was on USA and it was on Tuesdays. It was SmackDown Live. And I used to be fair, I don't know about you guys, what you prefer, but I used to... I quite liked the Raw on a Monday, SmackDown on a Tuesday, and then you kind of, then NXT on a Wednesday. And you kind of got a nice sort of flow of things, didn't you? I didn't actually mind that. I wasn't totally against that one. We're back already. The commercial breaks aren't that long though. That's a positive. We're going to be back. Well, hopefully we're going to be back soon anyway. Just constantly getting told there's flashing lights. There's flashing lights, guys. Be careful of the flashing lights. And we're back. Yes, 8-woman tag team match. It's the women's champion Bayley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill going up against Damage Control and Tiffany Stratton. That being Dakota Kai, the women's tag team champions, the Kabuki Warriors, and Tiffany Stratton. And they are in Lyon, France. As always, there is the Prime Hydration Station. And again, this crowd go crazy. I'm still trying to make out what they're saying. I don't speak French, though. But there is still the Prime Hydration Station. You would think Logan Paul will be appearing tonight. Possibly, maybe. We shall see. Of course, tomorrow at Backlash, once again, we'll have the Prime logo in the middle of the ring. Prime sponsors all of WWE's premium live events in terms of their center canvas spot. What is Asuka doing? She's sticking out her behind. Kairi Sane just rammed Bayley's face into it. Cover, and Bayley kicks out. And again, I don't know what they're chanting, but every time that kicks out at 2, the crowd goes crazy. Bayley whipped into the corner. We got to get a handspring elbow. I think we probably will. Handspring elbow. Look at the athleticism. Unbelievable. Snapmare takeover. Hits the ropes. What is this? Oh, look at it. This is the athleticism. Oh, Alabama slam. Cover. Oh, and Naomi. Whoa, Naomi just completely breaks up that with almost like a long dart into her. That was, I mean, Stratton's athleticism is just on another level, isn't it? Absolutely on another level. But Bayley's in the middle of the ring. Tiffany Stratton saying, "This is your champ." And a stomp to the back by Stratton. Oh, look at that forearm right to the face of Jade Cargill, who was standing on the apron. Maybe that's the wrong person you want to do it to. And now Tiffany just throws Bayley into Naomi. Oh, Saito suplex by the women's champion. And now, can Bayley make the tag? There's only one person that's available, and it's Bianca Belair. And Bayley and Belair are looking at each other, of course. They've got history, a lot of it. Belair is still resentful of what Bayley did when she was leading Damage Control. She's going to make the tag. They're selling like they're not sure. Well, just do a tag or something then, Bayley. Tags in Jade Cargill. Leapfrogs. Pump kick basically missed. Choke slam. Oh, choke slams Asuka In comes Kyrie, just catches her with ease. Oh, look at that. Swinging into a backbreaker. Splash. And what's Jade looking for here? Maybe a powerbomb. Oh, powerbomb. Nasty. And then comes Bianca Belair. Oh, on the shoulder. Oh, into a Dominator. 2. Oh, and it's broken up by Kairi Sane. Oh, Kairi thrown out. Oh, look at that. What a drop kick by Asuka. Oh, look at that. Version of a Bubba Bomb. Oh, wow. What a stomp right to the clavicle. And a Bayley to belly. Onto Tiffany Stratton. She rolls out the ring. Oh my God. Scorpion kick nearly took Bayley's head off by Dakota Kai. Up on the shoulders. This might be it. K-O-D. That'll be all she wrote. 1, 2, 3. And the babyfaces get the win. Well, it was a nice closing run there. Everyone hit their finishers. It was chaos. But they're definitely playing something up with Bianca Belair and Bayley. But they all get the win. The babyfaces win. Ed says, evening, Owen. It's so nice to be able to watch wrestling at a decent time of the day. I know. Feels strange. Nathan Joseph says, hey, Owen, did you see Drew say Nick Khan hasn't sold any shares and doesn't intend to? Said it on Pat McAfee's show yesterday. Yes, we did see that. I think we covered it in yesterday evening's news video. We covered that. Or either this morning. One of them, we definitely covered it. Chris Day says, big up to all. Big up to you, Chris. As we're just seeing the closing moments of this match, I mean, everyone pretty much hit their finishers. The one thing that bothers me, like you saw with Tiffany Stratton there, she gets hit with the Bayley to belly and just rolls out the ring by kind of getting up. But Bianca Belair gets the pinfall on Dakota Kai and wins the match for her team. As Damage Control and Tiffany Stratton retreat. But as I said, a red hot crowd. Oh, look at him. It's A-Town Down Under. Of course, they get the title defense later on tonight. It says, what's that smell? It's not red wine. What is that smell? It's cheese. That's what the audience smells like. Oh. What is it? It's smoke. And Grayson Wallace, that's what the Street Profits want. He says it's going to show that we are the smoke. Oh. And we'll go to commercial. We're in commercial. What are people saying here in the chat at the moment as well? Superstar Nathan Joseph says, I'll be on tomorrow to gift some memberships during Backlash. I'll hold you to it. I'll hold you to it, Nathan Joseph. I'll hold you to it, Superstar. Hall of Famer. Yeah, first battle at WN365 Hall of Famer as well. So there you go. Nathan said it himself. If you're on the watch along tomorrow, we'll be going live just before 6 our time. That's 1 p.m. in the US on the East Coast. Superstar Nathan Joseph, he'll be there. He'll be gifting out some gifted memberships. We've done quite a few actually. Members videos recently. We've started the match rewatch series. We've been doing some Backlash matches. We did Cactus Jack versus Randy Orton from Backlash 2004. Did one just a couple of days ago, actually. Did Edge versus John Cena from Backlash 2009. It staggered me. 15 years ago that match was. And you can watch it together with everyone. So if you haven't already, you can join the WN365 roster. We're going to be doing a load more stuff now with that. I've kind of got it to where I want to. Even we couldn't do it this time for logistical reasons, but also moving forward as well is I've kind of added a thing where you can kind of follow along with the match as well. You can kind of see like a blurred out version of it, which is the best you can do on YouTube. But But yeah, Nathan Joseph, he says he's going to be gifting them out tomorrow. So you know where to be tomorrow as well. Ryan says, Owen365, the best wrestling analyst. Great work. Appreciate that. Appreciate everyone that's been tuning into the videos recently. Appreciate everyone that's been subscribing and clicking the like button and interacting with all of the news videos too. May's going to be a really big month. A really big month. There's a lot going on. In the world of wrestling, of course, obviously all of the news stuff, but there's the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments that's going to be taking place at the end of the month, and also Double or Nothing. So we've got like 3 pay-per-views to get to this month, which is really, really exciting. I'm really excited about that as well. We're back, or we're nearly back from commercial. These commercial breaks very quick. As Corey Graves just gives some plugs. They're live in Lyon, France, as we go back to Kayla Braxton, who is with the challengers for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Jade says, confident. We're always confident. And tomorrow's no different. Bianca Belair says she's ready for closure. She's sick of talking about it. Damage Control has been coming at her the whole entire career. Oh, they pans to Bayley and Naomi. Said she's going to be done with Damage Control for good. Hopefully. Bianca's not a fan of Bayley. She's turning heel. They've been teasing it for weeks, haven't they? Been teasing it for weeks. And she's right. It's the Drew McIntyre thing, isn't it? Where Drew McIntyre was right with some of the things he was saying. That's the best way of being a heel. As they're just showing the draft. As we're seeing Carmelo Hayes when he was drafted last week. And obviously he had the match against Cody Rhodes. Mike says, that answers my question if you're watching live on TV, but it's pre-taped here in the States. Yeah, obviously it's in France, so it's airing live here in the UK at the moment. But it'll be in its usual time slot later on this night for you. As we're just seeing Hayes when he faced off against Cody Rhodes last week. What a start it was for him, of course, facing off against the WWE Champion in the main event. First time he was on SmackDown as an official member of the SmackDown roster. Yeah, there was that spot where they both missed and Rhodes landed on his shoulder last week. It was rough. And Rhodes got the win with the Crossroads, of course. And Cody Rhodes gave respect to Carmelo Hayes after that match as well. And then suddenly AJ Styles appeared out of nowhere. Of course, the main event of Backlash for the Undisputed WWE Championship. And there is Carmelo Hayes with Nick Aldis. He's saying last week he almost beat Cody Rhodes. He's got to keep that momentum going. So he's declaring himself for the King of the Ring. And there's Bobby Lashley. Oh, talking to Carmelo Hayes. Congrats for being drafted to SmackDown. More important. He says congrats on the match with Cody last week. Bobby says if there's anything he can do for Carmelo, just call. Just call. Carmelo says he's good. He's got it all figured out. He said, all right, big time. It's not about the shots you shoot, and it's about making them count. And he says, and last week, you lost. Carmelo Hayes says, when was the last time you shot your shot, Bobby? Bobby says, be careful who you disrespect round here. Maybe it's going to be Bobby versus Melo in the future. And of course, it wouldn't be a Def Rebel song without screaming of their names to start. So we got this tag team match coming up. New Catch Republic are going to be facing the AOP. God, these Death Rebel songs are terrible, aren't they? They are. They really are. Oh, my God. New Catch Republic. The Death Rebel formula. Say your name or a catchphrase to start it off, and then followed it with some generic music. Oh, man. New Catch Republic. But they're going to be facing off against the Authors of Pain. The AOP. And it's coming up next. As once again, we head into commercial. What else are people saying here in the chat at the moment? Right, if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe too. Ed says, Mello versus Gunther, King of the Ring. We will be there. I mean, who's that now that's declared for it? It's Gunther. I think Drew McIntyre has declared. Sheamus declared? Or did he just tease he was going to? And Carmelo Hayes. No, it starts next week after Backlash on Raw and SmackDown. Of course, it culminates at the King and Queen of the Ring PLE, which is taking place in Saudi Arabia towards the end of the month. But it's going to be... my favourite for winning is still going to be Gunther, I think. I would hope... I mean, I don't know if they're going to do this. I think WWE had it right back in 2002 when the winner of the King of the Ring, got a WWE Championship shot at SummerSlam. The same way that they kind of do, well, if you win the Royal Rumble, you get a championship opportunity at WrestleMania. It was the same then. It was like, if you win the King of the Ring, you go on SummerSlam and you challenge for the WWE Championship. Of course, Lesnar won it that year and he faced The Rock. So, yeah, I hope they do something like that. And then if Gunther wins, that's how he challenges for the title. Perhaps, maybe that's what they do. Atom K says, hi Owen, can't find which network has this on here in the States. Unfortunately, it's not live in the States at the moment. It's going to be live at, I say live, it's going to be shown, it's going to air, that's a better way of putting it, at 1 a.m. Our time, which is 8 p.m. your time, 8 p.m. Eastern rather, in the US. It's just because it's in France at the moment, so they do this with TNT Sports. They've got the relationship where if it's in Europe, they air it whilst it's live, whilst it's taping, and then they show it on tape delay 7 hours later in the US, which is what they do. Which, well, but I say it is annoying, but also it's kind of like, you feel our pain, because I remember for years it used to be. It was always, what was really interesting with SmackDown for years, they would tape on a Tuesday and then it would air, Thursday, Friday. So obviously you would get all the spoilers because it would tape on the Tuesday. And then what was really interesting is you could watch it way before it actually airs on television, because it would air in Australia. It would air in Australia first, and then that would get online, and then you'd find it online, and you'd watch that. And that before it even aired on UK television, definitely before it aired on American television. It was kind of wild how it kind of played out. Like, it would air technically on Thursday, or in Australia, it would air first. It was really wild. But we're seeing... are we seeing the same highlight package? We're seeing once again highlights of. We're seeing highlights of the draft. We're seeing highlights of the draft where Blair Davenport, Baron Corbin, Nia Jax, Shinsuke Nakamura, DIY, Apollo Crews, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Andrade. And you can just see the SmackDown draft results there. The SmackDown roster. Some big names. Obviously, Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, Carmelo Hayes, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I feel like Raw's got the stronger roster. But it looks like, as of now anyway, the Bloodline saga is going to stay on SmackDown. Of course, the Bloodline drafted to SmackDown. That would mean when Roman Reigns does come back, he'll be there, even though he withdrew himself from the draft. But there is the new Catch Republic. And here come the AOP. Of course, the Final Testament. Which I'm still not on board with, by the way. What is... Paul Ellering is holding up the book. I guess hence Authors of Pain. But there is Akam and Razar, the Authors of Pain, the AOP. Of course, this is based off what happened on NXT on Tuesday, where the new Catch Republic cost the AOP the tag team titles. Of course, 2 weeks ago... What's Wade Barrett talking about? Wade Barrett just completely flubbed his lines, by the way, with that. He started talking about Kevin Owens get attacked. Kevin Owens got nothing to do with it. I don't know what he was talking about. They'll edit that out. They definitely will edit that out. Basically, what happened is AOP attacked New Catch Republic a couple of weeks ago. Then AOP were challenging for the NXT tag team titles on NXT this week. And the New Catch Republic cost them the titles. And now we've got this match on SmackDown. Wade Barrett just started talking about Kevin Owens getting attacked. Clearly he thought the wrong VT was about to come up, which was a bit odd. Oh, kick by Pete Dunne to the head of, I think that's Akam. No, it's Razar. Another drop kick. Pete Dunne was going to go for a guillotine, perhaps. No, armbar. Oh, it's a Kimura. Kimura lock. And Tyler Bates now in. Look at these 4 fists flying at the same time. Backing him up into the corner. Here comes Tyler Bates. Oof. Gonna go for another running European uppercut. That's a second. Gonna go for a third. Oh my God! What a clothesline just turned Tyler Bate inside out. Wow. And the crowd now chant "You suck" to the AOP. Means business. Razar. Oof. With some knees to the head by Tyler Bate. Now, some uppercuts and some right hands. No way. He's going to try and go for a suplex. No, you're not going to suplex him. No chance. Try to suplex him. And now he's up on the back of Razar. Pete Dunne tags himself in. In comes the Bruiserweight. Oh! Stamps across the forearm. And there's a drop kick. Sends Razar out of the ring. And over the top rope. Akam and Razar on the outside of the ring. And what's their plan now? Oh, what was that? It's a tope by Tyler Bate. And now it's, he's trying to get Razar back in the ring, seemingly. Razar is back in the ring. Gonna go with a springboard. Springboard, another European uppercut. Cut doesn't send him down. Oh, catches him. Razar just catches him. Now he's going to go for... Oh, wow. That was rough in the corner. And now AOP are back in control. I mean, Corey Graves says complete control. Not like they were getting splashed on like 2 seconds ago. They're in complete control. But we go to commercial break once again. We go back to commercial. But it must be said, again, these the French fans are, my goodness me, they are incredible. And to be fair, it's been said for weeks, hasn't it? Or for years, rather, how great the French fans are. Saying that whenever they do their events, whatever, whenever they do these European tours, they always say that like the French fans are the best and they're always fantastic, and they wanted to bring an event to them, and now they can, which is again is fantastic, which is great too. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well whilst you're at it. If you haven't already. Where else are we at? Ed says a big old-fashioned grudge match. Mike says tomorrow it's going to air on Peacock at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's indeed correct. Yes, that's going to be happening tomorrow. We'll be live for that as well. 6 p.m. UK time. I think it's 6 p.m. local time. Although, is there an hour difference between France and the UK? I think there is. Isn't there? Is it? France? I don't think so, actually. There is an hour difference. I thought so. I thought there was an hour difference. So currently over there it's 7:37. I thought there was an hour in it. Alex says this match is actually great as well. As we wait to come back from commercial break. Still to come on the show is this face-to-face that's being promised by between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. We've got this RKO show, as well as the tag team title match. We've barely scratched the surface for this show, really, haven't we? We've had that opening 8-person tag team match. We've had this match, but in terms of the big stuff, we're still really waiting on that. Which again is always interesting because it's kind of so far what I thought. Oh, some breaking news during the commercial break. Make sure you're... Oh. Well, Corey Graves just said make sure you're subscribed or following WWE's... Make sure you subscribe or follow WWE's social media channels, because there is going to be a major announcement tomorrow. Now, what will that major announcement be? Will it regard WrestleMania and possibly the location of Las Vegas? Will it have to do with Seth Rollins re-signing with WWE? Of course, that was reported today. At the moment, Razar's just got a massive bear hug locked in on Tyler Bate. Bate's trying to fight out of it. He's just trying to squirm out of it. Maybe he can. He's able to. Just picks him up. Oh, that was a nasty landing by Tyler Bate. He lifted him up and Bate was able to get a drop kick, but he landed on his tailbone and hit the back of his neck on the ropes. That was nasty. Really, really nasty. Bate's still trying to fight back. Oh, off the ropes. Big lariat. Sends down Akam. Listen to this crowd, by the way. Whoa. And tags him in. In comes Pete Dunne. Step up Enziguri. Oh, and a running knee. Sends down Razar. Akam still in the ring. Oh, stamps on the fingers. Oh, and a pair of boots right to the mush. And Pete Dunne, all kinds of fired up. He looks, I mean, it must be said, Pete Dunne looks orange. I think he might have gone a bit too heavy on the fake tan of Pete Dunne. Look at that. Sliced bread. And he kicks out. Dunne. Gonna go to the top rope. Moonsault. Rolls through. Tags in Bate. Oh, and a big left. A pump kick once again. Didn't quite catch all of it. Can he pick him up this time? Can he do it? He's up on the shoulders. He's up on the shoulders of Tyler Bate. Look at this. And now he's going to go for that aeroplane spin. And look at this. Tyler Bate with an aeroplane spin on that. I think that's Akam in the middle of the ring. Absolutely incredible. My word. Oh, shooting star. Oh, running knee. Was it a shining wizard? 1, 2. Oh, and broken up by Akam. Oh, excuse me. It was Razar that broke it up. Oh, Razar grabs them both by the throat. I know, they're both going to go with a bit of joint manipulation. Snapping both the fingers on both of his hands. Off. And Razar flies to the outside of the ring. Here we go. Oh, Scarlett gets up on the apron. Oh my goodness. A tope kind of senton through the middle rope. Oh, carrying cross. He's got him up. Oh my God. A version of an F5. Oh, Pete Dunne flies over the top rope. Forearm to face a carrying cross. He's back in the ring. Uh-oh. Oh, version of a Uranagi by Razar. And get ready. Oh my word. Cover 2, 3, and the AOP pick up the victory. And the Final Testament are happy as the big team picks up the win. Now look at the heat. Look at the heat. But the AOP pick up the victory. Much to the delight of Scarlett, Paul Ellering, and Karrion Kross. Look at this dive. Look at this tope by Tyler Bate. Absolutely nails it. Look at that. Oh. Karrion Kross was like a version of like an F5. I mean, he had to kind of wait for Pete Dunne to hit him. And look at this. Oof. And AOP get the win. Of course, the Final Testament coming to Raw. Their final night on SmackDown. We're just seeing the Bloodline with their brawl with Kevin Owens last week. Of course, that's after Tama Tonga attacked Kevin Owens a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. And look at that. Of course, they're going to be facing off this tomorrow at Backlash. And that's when Randy Orton came and made the save last Friday. That's the giant Randy Orton. Well, he clotheslined the hell out of Tama Tonga, by the way, as well. He nearly took his head off. He really did. Of course, we're going to be getting this RKO show very soon. Once again, there's Nick Aldis. And there's Paul Heyman. WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman. Heyman says, "Did you get my memo?" Nick Aldis says, "I did. Request denied." He said Paul Heyman wanted Owens and Randy Orton to be pulled from the tag team match at Backlash. Heyman says for the sake of them both. He says, "Leave them in the damn match as far as I'm concerned. What happened to them is no longer on his conscience. Look at him. He's wearing his Hall of Fame ring. He says what happens to them tomorrow is on your conscience. Good night. Otis says that by orders of the tribal chief. Otis says, are you in charge? Heyman says he hasn't spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. Otis says, what did you just say? You haven't spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. So when Reigns pulled himself out of the draft... Oh! Roman Reigns did not pull himself out of the draft, says Heyman. Heyman says he pulled Roman Reigns out of the draft. Oh my! Heyman says you have to understand what's going on here. He had no choice. He cannot subject Roman Reigns of the chaos that's going on in the bloodline right now. And you can't subject Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Can't subject him to what waits at the hands of the bloodline tomorrow. So it looks like maybe Heyman's going to be the guest, saying you can pull him out yourself. Wow, look at that. I tell you what, that was one heck of a backstage segment that was. So we got a lot of information there. So the revelation is that Roman Reigns did not withdraw himself. He did not pull himself out of the WWE draft. Paul Heyman says he hasn't spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. He says, I haven't spoken to him since then. He actually then goes on to say that he pulled him out of the draft himself. He doesn't want to subject him to what's going on right now in the bloodline. And looks like Heyman's actually worried about Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, saying that what's going on with them, with the bloodline at the moment, they'll hurt them tomorrow and they shouldn't be subjected to that. So it looks like Heyman's going to be the guest on the RKO show. But what does everyone make of that in terms of a storyline development? Heyman... Well, the storyline at the moment, seemingly, isn't it, is that Heyman's not in control. He's not in control. He doesn't know what's, going on at the moment. He hasn't spoken to Reigns. Reigns and Heyman aren't in control. Well, Reigns is kind of disappeared. Heyman's no longer in control. Solo Sikoa, in that vacuum, has sort of taken the authority. He's brought in Tama Tonga. He's probably going to bring in Jacob Fatu as well. So this storyline is bubbling, certainly. It's bubbling very, very interestingly, to say the least. We're one like away, by the way, from 30. So if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well whilst you're at it. In the bottom right-hand corner, you know what to do. What else are people saying here in the chat at the moment? Red Devils 99 says Owen is finally happy WWE's at normal hours for him. It does feel very strange. Again, I'm still not kind of used to it. Whenever it does happen, very rarely. I'm not. Yeah, it's very, it's very odd. Yes. But I'm quite interested by that. I mean, as far as when Roman Reigns comes back, I mean, most likely. I mean, a lot of people are saying SummerSlam, aren't they? They're saying we're just not going to see him until SummerSlam, which I probably would agree. What that match is going to be at SummerSlam, it's probably going to be Roman Reigns versus probably Solo, maybe. Well, it's definitely proper bloodline civil war, and I think eventually it's going to build up to Roman and the Usos versus Solo, Fatu, and Tonga. I think that's the direction that it's heading in. And we're back from commercial. 11,101 fans in Lyon. And obviously that face-to-face between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles coming up later on this evening. Must be said, that segment with Aldis and Reigns was probably the best segment of the show so far. And again, definitely a big storyline progression and development, wasn't it? And here comes Randy Orton. So it's time for the RKO Show. Steve says something will happen in the pay-per-view in Saudi between the Bloodline. Well, that's true. Roman Reigns does tend to make those, doesn't he? Because obviously the money's there. There's Randy Orton. Interestingly as well, he's got his gear on, so that implies there's going to be some form of a match, doesn't it? Listen, the crowd singing his song as well. They wouldn't do that with a Def Rebel song, would they? Definitely not. Look at that. 11,000 people singing Randy Orton's song. Randy's not even a fan of his own theme song as well. But he didn't get the opportunity to change it. He apparently heard the Def Rebels theme and went, nope. He's got a pretty cool RKO shirt as well. Kevin Owens does always, he's got so many tag teams, doesn't he? Whether it's, his one with now Randy Orton, one with Jericho, one with Sami Zayn. That place is jam-packed. Absolutely jam-packed. Look at that. They are really singing their song. I can't remember how often that's happened for Randy. What an ovation. And there is KO. I don't think they're going to sing along to his song. Of course, Owens is a native French speaker, hailing from Maryville, Quebec, Canada. So I'm sure he'll speak some French. But tomorrow, that Backlash crowd, that's going to be on another level. Another level tomorrow. The RKO Show. Of course, as I said, tomorrow at Backlash is going to be Owens, Orton versus Sikoa and Tonga. Randy Orton looked genuinely moved, didn't he? He really did. He looked actually properly moved that they were singing his song there. As both men going to take their seats in the ring. I think it's the first time Randy Orton's ever had a talk show. Orton's leaning back in his chair. He's enjoying it. And look at that. See, I told you Kevin Owens would talk some French. And now they're singing Kato, Kato. It says, welcome to the debut episode of the RKO Show, à la française. Orton says, oh, look at that. Orton says, you didn't have to talk me into it. The people are so freaking amazing. He says that the crowd explode. My God. Oh, man, listen to this crowd just chanting and going crazy for Randy Orton. They're going nuts. Absolutely nuts for Orton. They are. They love themselves some Kevin Owens. Talk about kicking the Bloodline's ass tomorrow as well. They love themselves some Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. They said they were just going to play around. Kevin Owens said he was getting call after call after call from a number that he didn't want to answer. Caller ID said he's someone he didn't want to talk to. Wednesday at 4 a.m., he wore him down and he answered. And Paul Heyman asked to be a guest, so he is going to be Paulie. He said he had something very important to tell everyone. It piqued his curiosity. He asked Randy Orton if he wants to introduce him. He said he wants to introduce Paul Heyman to the most dangerous letters. Well, here he comes. And there comes Paulie. Paul Heyman speaking French. Ladies and gentlemen, is Paul Heyman. Listen to that crowd. Look at this crowd. Honestly, if you are in the US or anywhere else, you've got to watch it because the crowd are nuts. He's WWE's undisputed wise man. He comes out here with respect, with admiration, and with wisdom, because he is the wise man, of course. May he says you can't RKO him right away. Well, Heyman thought best against it. He went, well, maybe I don't come in the ring. Maybe I'll wait on the outside. He says there will be no RKOs this evening, Paul Heyman. Orton says he begs to differ. KO asks Heyman what he wants. He says he understands why you would doubt a man who has very little conscience. Crowd chant, we want Roman. They want Roman. Orton says, not here. Heyman looks into the hard cam and says, I want Roman too. Came out for a very simple reason. He has a big respect for Orton and Kevin Owens. He says that whenever they went into the ring with Roman Reigns to defend the title, he says the rules for Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga are different. Do your families a favor and back out. And back out of the match. Now. They're dangerous. Owen says he's not in the position to give anyone advice, considering everything around him is falling apart. Yeah, they try to. He's an asshole. He's saying he's an asshole. Orton says, "Who is the real tribal chief?" Heyman says, "You put him in a bad position." There's only one tribal chief. Oh no! And Solo Sikoa just attacks Randy Orton from behind. So does Tama Tonga. Wow. Very interesting. Did Paul Heyman just confirm that Solo Sikoa was the tribal chief? Said there's only one tribal chief and Solo Sikoa appeared. And there we go. Both teams are brawling in the ring. Tama Tonga's with Kevin Owens. Randy Orton's with Solo Sikoa. And now we got the WWE agents coming out. I mean, Tama Tonga's just brawling with Kevin Owens on the barricade. And here comes security even more. I mean, oh my God. Randy Orton just sending people. Oh no. Oh, backdrop onto the table. Oh no, Kevin Owens sent on off the top rope, takes out the bloodline. And so many members of security and staff as well. Orton and Owens keeping the high ground. But, man, it sets the stage for tomorrow, certainly, doesn't it? Well, there are the Street Profits there backstage. Of course, they're going to be challenging for the WWE Tag Team Championships pretty soon as well. Oh, they say they've been practicing the French. Are they going to put a whooping on A-Town Down Under? Oui, oui. Are they going to walk out as the new WWE Tag Team Champions? Oui, oui, they say. They say we want the smoke. Uh-oh! Here comes LA Knight, and listen to that pop. My goodness me. What a reaction for the megastar. Out comes L.A. Knight. Oh, listen to that pop. Listen to the crowd. L.A. Knight versus Angel. Or should I say Angel? Whatever, however you want to say it. But that's coming up next. L.A. Knight versus Angel. I mean, again, if you haven't, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'm going to watch it later, you've got to. I heavily recommend to watch it later because, yeah, I mean, the crowd in France, I mean, and this, if it's like it was in Puerto Rico, if you remember when they did the SmackDown in Puerto Rico, and they did the SmackDown in Puerto Rico, and the crowd was loud, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, tomorrow, that's going to be loud." France, I think France is going to be on that level with Backlash. Ironically enough, same time last year, wasn't it? It was last year was Backlash in Puerto Rico. It was just the crowd that night was on fire. And it's going to be the same tomorrow. Crowd absolutely on fire. That's what it's going to be. So that's really exciting. Very exciting. Hopefully it's a show that provides that kind of energy. I mean, it must be said the match that they had, in well, they had the Bad Bunny match, didn't they? They had the Bad Bunny match, which was the Bad Bunny match in Puerto Rico, because it was the hometown guy, and then they had the people coming out. They had Carlito coming out, and they had Savio Vega coming out. The place went wild. It went crazy. I don't know if they're going to have a similar kind of thing. I'm not sure who they could do that with, realistically. We shall see. But yeah, it's going to be red hot, definitely. Absolutely red hot. If you haven't already, click the like button. We're 2 likes away from 40. Be sure to subscribe as well whilst you're at it. We're doing daily news videos on all things WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, you name it. We cover it. We'll also have a post show after Backlash tomorrow as well. So there's, and then like I said, we've got King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring coming up soon, as well as Double or Nothing. Plus, there's just so much news every day in the world of pro wrestling, isn't it? It never really is a dull day. My goodness me, if I picked two things, you pick Manchester United and you pick wrestling, two of the most newsworthy things that ever. There's no such thing as a slow news day in either. It's trust me, really is no such thing. Ed says La Resistance would get a big pot. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe them, but I don't know what terms they're on with the companies. I know Rene Dupree still does his own thing. He's got his podcast. I don't even know what Sylvain Grenier does. I think at one point he was back, I think, as a producer for WWE for a brief period. But I'm not sure what else he really does. Listen to this chant. Oh, there was a QR code. I should probably rewind it, actually. See if I can get... Let's see if I can see that QR code again. It was very quick. That's a tough one to get on the remote. I can't even get it with this remote. That's really difficult. Maybe if I take a picture of it, maybe that'll be the way to do it. See if I can get it this way. I missed it. I'll try again. This will be the best way to do it. See if we can get this QR code, and I can let you know what we see. There you go. Got there in the end. My goodness me, was it tough to get to. That might have been the quickest one yet. Let's see which one this leads to. Put this on. Put that on there. As LA Knight bashes Angel's head, off the apron, and the crowd go crazy. We'll try that one again. There we go. And then you do this. See what we get to on this this website. Oh, we get to a video. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we get here. Tonight, the night before Backlash. Don't miss, you might.
Cody Rhodes will meet face to face with his opponent, AJ Styles.
Oh, it's. Oh. Is that Alexa Bliss? That looks very Alexa Bliss like. Our pain became his. It's a woman facing the wall. We were reborn. Is that the right height for Alexa Bliss? Because we believed. Because we believed. Well, that obviously is very Bo Dallas, isn't it? We believed. You know, he did the whole believe thing, didn't he? Well, that to me looked like it was Alexa Bliss standing up and facing a wall. I think that was... Might be wrong, but that's what it kind of looked like. And it says, because we believed. Which, of course, that used to be Bo Dallas's... that used to be his phrase, believe. But we're going on commercial break. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well whilst you're at it. We've got over 72 people watching, which is fantastic. Be sure to subscribe to bottom right-hand corner. You know what to do. As we're watching SmackDown live, it's in France at the moment, so we're watching it live. It's a rare treat because it's being taped at the moment in France. It's being aired live on TNT. It's still airing in its normal time slot in the US later on, but we get to watch it first. As the Manchukutioner says, the time is now. As Angel of Legado del Fantasma, LA Knight just dominating, as you would expect. Of course, trying to recover after he lost to AJ Styles a couple of weeks ago. Not the number one contender. A big kick to the face by Angel. He tried to do the mock of LA Knight, and the crowd didn't react to it at all, which is pretty difficult because this crowd's on fire. A big clothesline by LA Knight as well. As the Manchukutioner says, not a late night for the overseas fans. I know it's a miracle. Oof, big knee. As the crowd still red hot for LA Knight. Does the scoop into a slam. And a big elbow as well. That, he's going for the BFT. Oh, big right hand. Sends Berto down. 2. Oh, imagine he lost. There you go. BFT. Just spikes his head. And there you go. You can count to 100, as they say. And LA Knight gets the victory. Legado del Fantasma, of course, they're staying on SmackDown. Their rivals, the LWA, moving to Raw. Crowd again, chanting for LA Knight, red hot. He says, let me talk to you. Says all around the world, it's the same song. Another SmackDown, another dummy dropped on his head. I've even got my LA Knight button, actually. He says it's his ring.
Yeah!
He says, I think we're going to get some declaration here. He says, going to make it his ring. He is entering the King of the Ring. Oh, Santos Escobar, he's got something to say about that. He says it's impressive that he keeps talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Crowd tells Escobar he sucks. King of the Ring. He says he'll be busy winning. So all of Leon was telling him that he sucks.
Yeah!
They continue. Keep saying he sucks. He says, should he keep on talking? He says he knows whose game this is.
With everybody saying, yeah!
There you go. So LA Knight's also in the Royal Rumble. We know Carmelo Hayes is in the Royal Rumble. Santos Escobar maybe. LA Knight. They're all going to be in the Rumble match. We're seeing the clip from last week where we found out that Carlito attacked Dragon Lee the evening before WrestleMania 40. We see this footage. It was actually Carlito. And then what happened? He threw Dragon Lee into Rey Mysterio. And then boom, the big backstabber. And then he ran away. Of course, the LWO, including Carlito, is headed to Raw. Byron Saxton talking to Carlito says, why did you attack Dragon Lee? He says he's been away from the WWE for many years. All he wanted was another WrestleMania moment for himself and the LWO. So when he challenged him to a match at WrestleMania, instead, he chose Dragon Lee. Someone's been in the group for 5 minutes. That's not cool. He had to take matters into his own hands. It was nothing personal. Dragon Lee was just in the way. And the whole plan would have worked. Oh, there comes Dragon Lee. He's attacking him. Dragon Lee attacking Carlito. And once again, the WWE officials having to get involved. Been a busy night for said WWE officials. And here come the Street Profits. Again, we're going to be getting this WWE Tag Team Championship match. We can get that up on the screen. Double A says, do you read the chat? I just did. In come the challengers for the Tag Team Championships. They're being Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. The Street Profits. Look at them. They're in the crowd. Look at that crowd again. Red hot. Look at them. They're right up in the crowd. Right up at the top. They got the whole commercial break, I suppose. Look at them. They're right up in the crowd. Look at that. They're stealing Jey Uso's gimmick. Look at that. That's a nice graphic as well. Look at that tag team championship graphic. Oh, I tell you what, the production for WWE recently has been on another level. Steffi Jegs, big up to you, says, I'm always engaged when you're live. Big up to you, appreciate that. Ed says, now Strowman is back. I feel like Uncle Howdy will be here by the next premium live event. It's interesting because I mean, like many people kind of assumed that he would, Braun Strowman would be involved in the whole Uncle Howdy stuff. But I mean, I suppose we don't know, considering that Uncle Howdy's not here yet. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with it. But I kind of thought the same. We do know that Eric Rowan has signed a contract with WWE, and the likelihood of him signing a contract and not being involved with this whole Uncle Howdy stuff would be really surprising, wouldn't it? That would be really, really shocking. So I don't think that's. I'd be very surprised if that's not the case. So I think he's going to be involved. Maybe Braun will be. Maybe he won't. Maybe that's going to be the people that Uncle Howdy's faction is going to be feuding with. Like I say, you'll see it when the QR code comes up later on tonight. But that QR code it leads to a video of a woman facing the wall. You don't see her face. She's wearing some kind of like white kind of like gown. And you don't really see who it is, but it could possibly be Alexa Bliss. I mean, obviously with Bliss, one of the biggest giveaways is the height, and maybe she's a bit too tall, perhaps, maybe to be Alexa Bliss. But then if she's not Alexa Bliss, then who is it going to be as well? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that is. Who that is going to be? But I would think Bliss. She's on her way back after being on maternity leave. We're just about to come back from a commercial. The Manchukutioner says, it's really a testament how long some of these wrestlers are able to keep going. I stopped playing five-side footy due to injuries last year, and these guys have been wrestling since I was a kid. It's no joke. But it's because they are some of the injuries they have, they probably shouldn't be wrestling, but they just ignore doctor's orders, But there's A-Town Down Under, the WWE Tag Team Champions. And those Tag Team Championships are gorgeous. They really are. They are so good. Better than the Raw versions. Better than the World Tag Team Championships. Those WWE Tag Team Championships are so good. Grayson Waller's got a look of contempt on his face. Doesn't like people singing this song. Of course, not the first gold that Austin Theory has held in WWE, a former United States champion. As the referee Jessica Carr holds up the WWE Tag Team Championship belts. Titles are on the line. A reminder, we do still have this Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles face-off to come later on. Jessica Carr was screaming ring the bell, and they wouldn't. As Austin Theory working over Angelo Dawkins. Going to tag in Grayson Waller. Oh, a big right hand by Grayson Waller. Yeah, he's going to go working on the shoulder, it looks like. Oh, leapfrogs over. Off. Big reverse elbow to the face of Grayson Waller. In comes Montez Ford. With what a drop kick. Oh, and a kip up by Montez Ford. Bam. Flapjack. I'm still surprised. To be honest, I'm still somewhat surprised that... What was that? Terrible punch. I'm still surprised that the Street Profits are together. Just because it's like... It just feels like they've done everything. What's left for them to do? Dawkins heading to the top rope. Off. Swanton. And Austin Theory pulls Grayson Waller out the ring. Tags in Montez Ford, who just flips into the ring. I mean, just outrageously athletic. Get ready for the dive. Oh my goodness me. Senton over the top rope. Nearly lands on his feet as well. And the crowd in France, as they've been all evening, unbelievably loud. What are they looking for here? That's a back suplex. Look at Montez Ford. Montez Ford on the apron. Oh, splash in the corner by Angelo Dawkins. Oh, and a big kick right to the face. Goes for the cover. And kicks out at 2. And the crowd, this crowd just tomorrow at Backlash, it's going to be another level. Honestly, it's reminded me of Backlash last year in Puerto Rico. It really is. Last year, Puerto Rico was insane with the Bad Bunny match. I think it's going to be the same. I do. We're 1 like away from 50, by the way. So if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well whilst you're at it. You know what to do. This is a WWE Tag Team Championship match between, obviously, the tag team champions of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, defending against the Street Profits. They're currently at 17,584 subscribers. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. You'll see the counter tick over. Click the notification bells. You'll be notified when we go live tomorrow for a Backlash watch-along and a post-show at a normal time for me, which is nice, isn't it? That is nice. It's a nice change of pace, which beats having to be up super late all the time for it, which is good in addition to that. What are people saying here in the chat at the moment? It's Pelt says, well, Owen, I didn't know Rowan signed with WWE. I would have popped so hard seeing without knowing he was even here. I don't know when he's going to be debuting or anything like that. Again, the suggestion would be that it would be with this Uncle Howdy stuff. But interestingly, they were already running the Uncle Howdy promos before the news came out that he had signed. I'm sure they were probably in talks. These things sometimes can take a bit of time, but all of the theories are out there about what's going to happen with it. Whether it's Howdy, Rowan, maybe Alexa Bliss, Strowman. That could be 4. Some people are thinking it could be. I mean, it's weird because it's clearly like a Bray Wyatt inspired thing, and I see people tying in people that have nothing to do with Bray Wyatt, and I sort of go, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Surely the whole thing is that it's bringing the people back together that had kind of involvement with Wyatt. And we're back from commercial. Montez Ford floats over in the corner. Kick to the face of Austin Theory. Springboard. Oh my God. Look at that. Back elbow. Theory jumped up and really took that one right in the face. There's a back suplex. Ford flips up again. I mean, Montez Ford's just unbelievable athlete. Moonsault by Montez Ford. I still waiting for people to explain what that thing is when they kick out at 2. Now they're going to go for maybe a double back suplex. Austin Theory rolls out, tags in Grayson Waller. What a right hand by Austin Theory to Angelo Dawkins. Grayson Waller's going to the top rope. Montez Ford's got to watch out. He's been caught. He went for a spring. He kicked Dawkins. What was that? I'm not sure what that was. He kicks out. I'm not sure what that was. I'm a very confusing spot. But Grayson Waller's down. Angelo Dawkins down. Austin Theory wants the tag. He gets it. He's going to go for his diving drop kick. Oh, wow. Pounced out of midair. And a spine buster by Angelo Dawkins. Now he's going to tag in Montez Ford. You're going to go for here. Oh, blockbuster. Cover. 2. Oh, kicks out. Take a look. Look at that. I mean, he got pounced out of midair. That was nasty. And now, I mean, Theory kicks out. Trending number 1 in France is #SmackDown. Now, Dawkins has got Theory up on his shoulders. Oh, rake of the eyes. Oof. Oh, and a right hand by Dawkins to Theory again. Montez Ford is hanging in the corner. Gonna go for a collar roll. Oh, flatliner by Grayson Waller. Theory's gonna steal it. 2, 3, and he does it. An A-Town Down Under retain. A-Town Down Under retain their tag team titles. In a pretty good match. Not anything to super right home about, but it was pretty good. A-Town Down Under get the win. Still the tag team champions. Much to the chagrin, as Corey Graves said, of the WWE Universe in Lyon. As they highlight tomorrow's Backlash PLE in Lyon. They once again hyping up this breaking news tomorrow. That news. Oh. Very, very interesting. Wade Barrett has said that tomorrow there is going to be some breaking news related to WrestleMania. It looks like tomorrow they're going to be announcing, I think, the location of WrestleMania 41. That looks like what it's going to be like. That's at least what they're hinting at anyway. Which is pretty significant, that. I was just seeing they're going through the card for tomorrow's Backlash. Of course, the Women's Championship Triple Threat match, Naomi, Bayley, Tiffany Stratton. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line as well. Damian Priest against Jey Uso. Undisputed WWE Championship. Obviously, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. And here comes the AJ Styles. You don't want none. So I guess we're about to get this face-to-face between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. So we can switch to this. We're going to get this face-to-face. Of course, an absolutely jacked AJ Styles, it must be said as well. He's huge. These Death Rebel songs are terrible. I know I've said this so many times this evening, but they really are. They're not good. But Styles and Rhodes are going to go face to face on Friday Night SmackDown. That's going to be next. So we're going to get a Cody Rhodes appearance very, very shortly. As we go once again into commercial, which I think will probably be our last commercial break of the evening, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, well, it's funny because obviously usually the show would be 2 hours long, but with the commercials being as they are, very, very, very short, very, very short commercials, it probably is only going to be about 10 minutes left, I would probably think, something like that. What have they got on here as to when the show is going to finish? What have they got it down as? They've got it down as 8, but maybe I suppose it could last 20 minutes, this segment. Maybe probably just a little bit before, perhaps. We'll see how that one plays out at the moment. Wow, so people saying here. Manchukutioner says, I heard that WrestleMania is in Manny is kicking off at 1 a.m. your time. Why? Or WrestleMania. WrestleMania always kicks off. Any premium live event is always kicking off late for us here in the UK. Yes, the Manchukutioner. I mean, never trust the Manchukutioner. This is kind of a thing you have to realize. The Manchukutioner, you can never trust him. He is devious. He is a superhero / wrestler himself, who, I mean, breaks things, his own furniture to prove a point. So he says I might have got his sources wrong. Again, this is the Manchukutioner. It's peak Manchukutioner with not knowing his sources. You can never trust him. You never know what he's going to do. Manchukutioner. He's a very difficult person to contain. Very, very, very difficult person to contain. Manchukutioner. Very often I've had conversations with him that I had to hang up very quickly and just go, I don't know. I'm not sure. Lil Yo-Yo says, big up Owen. Imagine WrestleMania in London. You might actually leave your house. We shall see. I don't know if the way Triple H was talking the other day, he was kind of implying that it's very difficult for them to do a WrestleMania away. He was sort of going, he went like, we'll talk. I mean, it's difficult to do the big ones away, but we'll see. We're getting an advert for, I think, King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi. Of course, actually, like I said, the SmackDown is going to be in Jeddah as well. It's going to be in Saudi. On May 24th and May 25th. When is Double or Nothing? Is it? It's got to be close. Double or Nothing 2024. When is that? May 26th. Is that the same day? King of the Ring 2024. Oh, it's the next day. Wow, it's going to be a long weekend, that one. We're going to have SmackDown from Jeddah on the 24th of May, King of the Ring, or King and Queen of the Ring on the 25th, and then the next day on the 26th, we'll have Double or Nothing. It's going to be non-stop. You're going to be wrestling out by that point. That is the highest grossing SmackDown event in WWE history. That means, it's over 11,000 people in that arena, and they've paid a shit ton of money to go there. And if you don't believe me, just look at the prices for the Clash at the Castle show. Yeah, the Clash at the Castle show in Glasgow, the nosebleed seats are going for like £400-500. It is nuts. They can charge that high, people will buy it, and it's crazy. Here comes Cody, the American Nightmare. As they sing his song. Cody still manages to get some pyro. I thought it was going to fly. I thought that pyro was flying into the crowd then. I was like, this one's going to get set on fire. I was like, wow. But again, just think about that. Think of the arenas and places that they've run. For this to be the highest grossing SmackDown in WWE history. Bear in mind, again, they've done SmackDowns in Madison Square Garden. They've done SmackDowns where they've had attendances of like 15, 20, even recently, after WrestleMania, before WrestleMania, 20,000 people, something like that. To have 11,000 people and then that be the highest grossing SmackDown, just think of how much those tickets are costing. That's how much they can charge at the moment. He's shaking hands. Look at Cody. Look at him. The consummate face of WWE, shaking the hands of the French commentators. What a kiss ass. As he holds the WWE Championship. As his opponent as well, AJ Styles, waits for him in the ring. He holds up the WWE Championship, hand in his pocket. I think he's wearing Dusty's Rolex as well. And Cody's got the mic. Is it me as well? Whenever he holds that championship, it looks massive on him. It really does. It looks huge. The crowd chants for Cody. Holds his championship, looks at AJ. And the crowd are now just singing. Just singing in general. I love the American production. Oh, look at that. Ah, look at that. Speaking a bit of à la française. And the crowd says yes. Oui. AJ says, don't care what they want to talk about. You're in the ring with me. And once again, they're singing. We've broken out into song. Again, I mean, honestly, this crowd's been like it. When I listen to, they're just going crazy. Let's go crazy for no reason. They just got to their feet and they're just going nuts. Look at them. Limbs are flailing around all over the place. They've barely said anything. They've barely done anything. This crowd's red hot. Just think what happens tomorrow when there's actual matches. AJ says, like Cody's not focused. He's focused. Cody says he absolutely has his attention. Cody says, AJ says, I don't need that crap. AJ says he might be older, but he's still in his prime. Who's saying otherwise? You didn't have to. You know what you meant? Disrespectful, Cody. AJ can't talk. They started the what? And he went, that's what I thought. The disrespectful. Can we? I mean, look, I love Dusty Rhodes. I'm a big Dusty Rhodes fan. But do we have to have every Cody Rhodes storyline involving Dusty Rhodes? It's every one. Now we're getting chants of Olay. Okay, AJ. Oh, he's referencing Stardust. He said until you can end, if you know what I mean. You packed your bags, you left. Your decision. AJ says, one I never got to make. Because he was kept out of the WWE for years. And when he got here, he wasn't welcomed with open arms like he was. In WWE. He said he had to prove himself, and he did it by himself. Gets a round of applause from the crowd in Lyon. Yeah, AJ says you had legends of the Hall of Famers watching your back so you could finish the story. A bunch of guys he's beaten before. He beat them all the same way he's going to beat him at Backlash. He's not going to. He's going to find his way to the top again. And he's going to remind everyone else. He's going to remind everyone that he is phenomenal. I mean, this French crowd's nuts. They've just resorted just to starting to sing. They just break out. I don't know if I've ever seen a wrestling crowd just resort to breaking out into song. Because they're doing it again. Cody says that AJ is the modern day excellence of execution. A first ballot Hall of Famer. Cody says every mistake he endured, every decision he made to stand here as WWE Champion. His very first title defense is their very first match. Whenever he says phenomenal, they start singing again. They're going crazy again. You can't say phenomenal, they start singing. That's too sweet. Mics go down. Oh, maybe he does kind of go for the too sweet. Oh, I slapped him in the face. And then he walks away. Wow. A slap in the face and then he walks away. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, we got a brawl backstage. A brawl between the Bloodline, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Oh, gosh. Oh, Solo went to hit Randy Orton in the head with that chair. My God. The brawl continues. Oh, steel chair to the back by Randy Orton. And that's how he got off the air. My God, that was a pretty intense way to go off the air, wasn't it? But anyway, guys, there you go. That's the SmackDown watch-along for you. A bit of a teaser, a bit of a taster of what's to come, certainly tomorrow for the Backlash watch-along as well. A reminder, we will be live. We'll be live tomorrow for the watch-along for Backlash and the post-show. So be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell. You'll be notified when we go live. I will see you again very, very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.